The black community is on the verge. And some of you who've made posts or made videos, y'all already know this. But the black community is on the verge of becoming a safe space. And if you don't understand that dichotomy or that dynamic, then you don't understand what I mean by a safe space. And safe space, you do your research on it. There are safe spaces on college campuses where you can't criticize groups, you can't offer a critique of that group. You can't say anything that will upset them or hurt their feelings once they're in that safe space. And what they are attempting to do with the black community is they are attempting to turn the black community into a safe space, meaning that the inhabitants of that community can't be critiqued, no matter how fair and balanced that critique is. Now, I can understand if you offer a harsh analysis and they say, look, that's too harsh, that's out of bounds. Okay, I'm fair enough to give you that. But you can't do away with all critique. And this is what they're attempting to do by creating the black community and making the black community a safe space. You can't critique black folks. You cannot offer a fair and balanced analysis of black people. Now, keep in mind now, black people can do that to everybody else. I mean, can you imagine if white folks started criticizing these hoteps, these pro-blacks, because their entire talking point is, it's whitey's fault. The structure of white supremacy. Now, what if whitey started running around talking about, I want a safe space too? You can't critique me. That would do away with their talking points. How? Because their entire litany of what they talk about is to blame whitey. And you can't, in a safe space, you cannot offer a fair analysis of those people. You just can't. Because what they're going to do is, no matter how fair and balanced your analysis of them is, what they're going to say is, it's harassment. You're harassing me. By critiquing me, you're harassing me. And what they've done, and I'm saying they, I'm not necessarily talking about black people, because to pull this off requires intelligence. What they have done is they have connected harassment with critique. So no matter how fair that critique is, it's harassment. You're harassing me. No matter how down and monotone you speak, no matter how you talk in proper diction, no matter how you present your analysis, if it is an analysis that those inhabitants, and then when I say inhabitants, we're talking about black folks, particularly beta males, because that's who the video was dealing with last week. That video was mainly talking about beta males. So if beta males hear a critique or an analysis of them and they don't like it, they're going to say, you're harassing me. And since most of these online platforms have policies against harassment, then it's quite easy to have that video flagged. It's quite easy to have that post flagged. It's quite easy to have Facebook remove something that you posted, because they're going to connect critique with harassment. This is what they've done. And if you study European history, you know that that period in European history where it was very easy to have someone condemned as being a heretic or teaching heresy. It's sort of like the Salem witch hunts, where women were being accused of being a witch. That was a death sentence for a female. Any female that was accused of being a witch, she was brought before a tribunal. And if they found her guilty, guess what? They're going to torture her. She's a witch. Sort of like you're a coon. Same difference. But the Spanish Inquisition and the Negro Inquisition are one and the same. Anybody who does not think along the party lines, I've told y'all this, anybody that thinks outside the box, anybody that makes videos outside the box, anybody that puts a post outside the box, you're going to be accused of hating black people, which is the equivalent of heresy. And you're going to be brought before the Negro Tribunal, and they're going to try you for these crimes. And if they find you guilty, they're going to torture you. This is what I told y'all was the Negro Inquisition. This has been going on for years. And what's the subheading of the Negro Inquisition? It's monolithic thought, which again, I've done videos on. I told y'all, these Negroes believe that if you are black, you have to think alike on all racial issues. You're not allowed to have your own opinion if you're black and it's a racial issue, or you got to think like the rest of us. If it's a racial incident that takes place in Black America and you find yourself outside the box, you're going to be accused of being a heretic, of promoting heresy, or in the modern terms, a coon, which is the same difference. And I've told y'all, it's completely insane for the Negro to have this concept of monolithic thought. For one, it's very dangerous. It's dangerous to think that a group of people, a race of people, should all think alike. You shouldn't want that. But this is what the Negro forces, this is what they push, monolithic thought. How dare you think differently than the rest of us? This is the way you're supposed to think. And if you think outside those lines, here they come. Watch them. Set your watch to it. They're going to find fault in you. They're going to bring you before the Negro Tribunal. They're going to try you. And if you're found guilty, they're going to torture you. The same thing I told y'all when the Negroes come down with that term coon. Negro use coon today in 2018 to simply mean somebody I disagree with. He's a coon. And here's the thing that that really makes you wonder, about black people, is that just like when they find you guilty of being a heretic or not thinking along party lines, they're gonna call you a coon. They're gonna accuse you of heresy, and this is no matter what you've done for black people. No matter what you've done, no matter how many sacrifices you have made to try to help black people, if you on one incident don't think like the rest of them, you're a coon, and they're gonna bring you up on charges. And the classic example that I love to use is one Bill Cosby. I mean, you can't get a better example than this. This lets you know just where black people are. When you look at Bill Cosby, I mean, here you have a guy, who have reached into his pocket using his own money to pay the college tuition of numerous black students. Now, I ain't talking about buying a semester of books. I'm not talking about paying for one class. I'm talking about full ride, paid for. And his only requirement to those students was, if you want to pay me back, graduate. Bill Cosby has done that numerous times for black students at these HBCUs. And regardless to all of that philanthropic mindset activity that Bill Cosby have engaged in, because on one incident he found fault in black people, guess what? Bill Cosby a coon. He a coon. He a coon. Wait a minute, man. Hey, he a coon. He's paying the tuition of black students to go to school. See, black folks don't want to be critiqued. You can't critique them. They have a safe space, and this safe space eliminates any kind of critique. And it matters not the ones who doing the critique. Now here you have Bill Cosby challenging black America. And black folks didn't like that. So regardless to all of the students that he's paid their tuition to school, that don't matter. That don't mean nothing. He a coon. You look at a Condoleezza Rice. I mean, you can name Condoleezza Rice, Dr. Ben Carson, Clarence Thomas. I mean, here you have individuals who have aspired and strive to the tops in their field. Condoleezza Rice, I mean, here you have a female, a black female, who, if all things are honest and fair, is more qualified than that dude that y'all have in the White House right now, was more qualified than Barack Obama. A concert pianist, a female that speaks multiple languages, a foreign policy expert, never been married and don't have one baby daddy. Now you can take a Condoleezza Rice and put her in front of black girls and say, listen, look at that. But no, because Condoleezza Rice espouses a different ideology than what the Negroes want. She a coon. Oh, black people, man, black people. And if she dare critique them, if she dare analyze them, they indeed would be even harsher on her than they are now. Because in the safe space, what they call the safe space, which is the black community, you are not allowed. It's not permitted. You can't do it. Under no set of circumstances can you critique black folks.